we will learn the two methods which are used to write and read from a binary file. Okay. Now, how to write a content to a binary file? The method which is used to do it is the dump method. The dump method is used to write an object into a binary file. That object may be any Python object. That may be an integer, a list, or a tuple, or a dictionary, whatever it is, you can write that content into the binary file. So the syntax is pickle.dump. So I told you the writing and reading should happen only with the pickle module. So pickle.dump. Then what object are you going to write? That variable, comma, the file handle. So how do you do it? There is an example. Import the pickle module first. The object which I am going to write is a list. That list, first you have to open the file where you're going to write it. Then pickle.dump that list, comma, the file handle. So the object that you're going to write, comma, the file handle, and then close the file. This is called dump method. Next, before we move on to reading the contents, you have to know what is end of file error. This end of file error generally happens when you read a binary file. So, when you open a binary file, when you're handling a binary file, you will never know how many records are there inside, how many objects are there, how many objects you need to read. We may not know all those things, right? So, when we keep on reading the records one by one, when the end of file is reached, Python will raise an end of file error and stop the program. That is an exception called EOF error, end of file error. Notice this EOFE should be in capitals, right? So to avoid this, so whenever we read a binary file, we have 100% chances of getting an exception, that is an error. In that case, that binary file reading has to be done within try except method. In order to handle that exception, give your code within try except block. Okay, only then you can easily read it. So how will you read a record? There is a method called load. So pickle.load and within bracket give your file handle. So one object will be read at a time. Okay, so import pickle, open the file in reading mode RB. Then I'm giving my list equal to pickle.load of fh. When I give pickle.load of fh, the first object which is there inside the file, that will be read and stored inside my list. And my list will be printed on the screen. So this is how we read and write from a binary file. Suppose now what did I show you? Just one single statement called pickle.load. This will read only one object. Suppose you want to read all the objects from a binary file, you have to use a loop. Why am I using a while loop and why am I not using a for loop? For loop you can use only when you know how many objects are there to read. Now inside a file we never know how many records are there. So I'm using an unconditional thing, say while true. So what will happen? It will keep on pickling the object, taking the content from the file and keep it printing on the screen. But at one point end of file error is reached and program will stop. To avoid that, this while true and print which is used to read the records, these two lines should be put inside the try block. So that when some error happens, the program will not get any issue. It will just come to accept handling and just close the file. You will never know that an error has happened in the background. So this is how you read the record. So for reading a record, you have to import the pickle module, open the binary file, within a while true loop should be given in try except block, inside while true load the record and close the file while the error happens. Okay, now I'll simply show you how this happens, right? So let me the first step, whenever you handle binary files, import the pickle module. Then now open the file, f equal to open. I'm going to create a new file, bin file 1.dat. Generally, binary files have an extension .dat or .bin. And I'm going to write the content. So WME mode, I'm opening a file, right? Now, how to write contents inside? I already told you, you should give it as pickle.dump. What are you going to dump? I'm going to dump a list of numbers. 20, 30, 40. This is my Python object, comma, which file? File F, the file handle. So press enter. This 10, 20, 30, 40 will be dumped. Again, I'm going to do pickle.dump. Now I'm going to insert a dictionary. Right? So the Python object, comma, the file handle, this will be dumped inside. Now I will close the file. My work is over. I'll close the file. Now how to read a file? Import pickle is already there, so it's ready. But I have to open the file in read mode. So bin file 1.dat in RB mode. Okay. Now, I forgot to close the file name. Here an opening quote. Open the file. Now I'm going to load. How will you load? Print pickle.load of f, the file handle, right? So one record is loaded. Now again load the second content. Now I'll show you what happens. See, now end of file error has happened. Why? Because there were only 2 records with inside the file. Now how to avoid this? First I will close this file. Now f equal to open that binary file in read mode. Now what did I tell you? You have to use try except block. So within try, give while true. Whether it is 2 records or 20 records or 200 records, it will not an issue. It will simply print it. Pickle.load of f. Okay. Then except end of file error. Okay. Except EOF error. Close the file because we have come to the end of the file, so we will close. See, now the program is run without any error because I have handled the error using try except block. Okay. So hope you understood how to use the dump method and the load method. Thank you.